Hello everybody and welcome or welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, hi, welcome, come on in. My name is Millie and I post at least 3 times a week on a Monday, Wednesday and a Friday. But there is so much new makeup coming out at the minute. I am posting all of the time, so subscribe if you want to see more colourful, fun makeup looks from me. That is what we are doing today. I am completely randomising all of the shades in the new Bella Beauty Bar Arch of Colour eyeshadow palette, picking at least 5 and coming up with an eyeshadow look. So if you haven't seen this palette, firstly I've got a full first impression with all of the swatches and everything. This has everything that you could ever need for a colourful eyeshadow look. I'm looking at this, I feel so inspired by it. This is such a beautiful selection of colours. Obviously it's a rainbow. I absolutely love it. So like I say, we're going to be completely randomising all of these shades today. I'm picking at least 5. This video is of course in collaboration with my lovely YouTube bestie Cole. Whenever we get the same palettes we do this video, so go and check out her video as well. I will leave her channel linked down below to see how similar or different our looks are, and then come back here and tell me whose look you prefer. Who has won this eyeshadow palette bingo? But let's just get on into picking the shades, because honestly the possibilities in this palette are near enough endless. So I have put all of the shade names into the Tiny Decisions app and we're going to pick at least 5. I haven't done an eyeshadow primer yet because if we pick a pastel, fingers crossed, but if we pick a pastel I'm going to want a white eyeshadow primer. So we will figure that out when we know the shades, and I will swatch them on the back of my hand when we have picked them so that I can keep a track of what shades we have picked. But let's go ahead and pick 5. Shade number 1 is going to be Marigold Mirage, and I did write the row number on each shade name as well. So this is the beautiful bright orange. I mean, I say beautiful. Every shade in this palette is beautiful, so let's not describe all of them as such, but that is a good one, real nice and bright. So shade number 2 is Spectrum Base. Okay, so that is the white. It's not pure white, it is a tiny little bit creamy, but it is a very nice shade, and I feel like you could mix that. If we need to, we can get a bit creative. Now that we've picked that one, we can lighten some of the other shades if we need to, or I could just pack it on the inner corner, because of course that's what I'm going to do with it. So let's pick shade number 3. I do think I'm probably just going to pick 5 because there's only so much space on my eye. So we have got Periwinkle Path, which I actually used in my first impression. So this is the pastel lilac shade. This is turning into a very pretty look. I'd like something a little bit deeper. I don't know what. But I would. I just feel like because they're all mattes, I'm not as scared. So we have got Rain Wash, which is the blue. I haven't used any of the blue shades yet. This one is very pretty. I am just I mean, you're seeing it in real time, but I am doing sort of 2 swatches, but like sort of 2 swipes, but that's just to neaten up the swatches because I'm not very neat. Okay, so there we go. Please can we get a deeper shade? What I'd really like is a deeper purple, so Iris Incline, Royal Radius, maybe Sunset Violet, Rainfire, any of those would be great. Let's just see, because the last time I said, oh, I'd really like a certain shade, it did actually come out. So Emerald Echo. Okay, so this is the dark green. Well, it's actually one of the more mid-tone greens, but I think I'm happy with these 5. I think I'm gonna just leave it at these 5. As always, I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I'm gonna do some eyeshadow primer. I'm gonna zoom you in. And we're going to make a green, blue, purple and orange look with a bright white in a corner because of course I'm going to use that white there. Where else would I use it? Okie dokie, so like I say, I've put the white Beauty Bay eyeshadow primer further in on my eye and then the skin toned one a little bit further out, blended them across the middle just so that these brighter shades really pop further in. So I don't know what I love the colour selection, I very, very much enjoy it, but I don't know what the vibe is. So let's figure this out together. I'm going to dip into the white and the orange to make a little bit more of a mid-tone, hopefully. So one dip into each of those to make something a little bit more sort of peachy. And let's put this sort of on the inner half of the crease. I'm pretending like I know what I'm doing. I feel like at this point I do pretend quite well because I do it so often. But I would love to hear what you would do if you would pick these shades. What's your vision when you look at these 5 shades? Because I love them, but the vision isn't immediately forthcoming, so let's just figure this out together. Also, if you can hear my fan next to me, no you can't. We are in Heatwave 2.0 in the UK, in case you are not in the UK. We're all struggling once again, so you can't hear that. It's not happening. I'm just taking a smaller, more precise brush. This is a Cosmic Brushes CB4, and I'm going straight into the orange. I'm not going to mix that with anything, and I'm going to put that further down into the crease next to where we've put that lighter shade. This is so like neon bright orange, and I absolutely love that. I love orange, in case you can't tell. My hair's meant to be orange, it's definitely red. They stopped doing my favourite colour and I'm very, very sad about it. Bleach London, can you please bring back Curious Orange? Because I need it, okay? I need Curious Orange back in my life. Right, so that's the orange. Now, what do I want to do next? Let's do... See, I'm trying to resist the urge to do a cut crease because I did a cut crease in my first impression. Should we do a halo? Is it too late? I thought ahead, like, not thinking only 5 seconds ahead would be really useful when I'm doing things like this. I can't do that. I can't do that. My brain doesn't think that far ahead. Let's take a fluffy brush and let's go into the blue, because I do very, very much enjoy that blue, which was Rain Wash. And I don't know how well this blue is going to go into the orange. We can figure that out in a minute. That blue is exceptionally pigmented. I mean, they all are, don't get me wrong, but I was not expecting that to lay down as intense as that, just with like the tiniest little dip. So I'm just going back in with a bit more of the orange just to tap over the join a little bit. I don't want to muddy it, but I do just want them to be, yeah, like that. I want them to be like that. I'm very happy with those shades. So let's take another really small brush, another Cosmic CB4, and I'm going to go into Emerald Echo, the green, and I'm going to tap that off and pack that on the lid. Yeah, and that is going into that blue deliciously. Oh, this green. I mean, obviously I love green at the best of times, but this green is so good. Does anybody want to let me know what my next step is? Because I don't know what I'm doing. I need to get this purple on somewhere. I need something across the lid. Do I just put the purple across the lid and then we've used all of the shades? Feeling like I want that blue next to the go green and then blue. Do a cut crease. Is that my vision? I think that's my vision. Let me go ahead and do a cut crease. Then we can blend this green into the blue, into the lilac. And then the white on the inner corner. And then honestly, maybe just the orange under the eye. I think I figured it out. Congratulations. You saw all of those cogs turning in real time. So let me go do something with this crease and I'll be right back. Okay, so that is the rough shape that we're going for. And I didn't carve that out. I just placed a white eyeshadow primer over everything that was already there because I don't have the patience. I don't have it in me to cut a crease today, but I can lay down a little bit extra eyeshadow primer. So I'm just going back in with that blue and blending that green across the lid a little bit, just with that beautiful Rainwash shade. I'm glad that we picked a blue because I hadn't used the blue in my first impression, and I think that these shades are lovely, so I'm glad that we got that one. I'm just carefully tapping that up to where that white eyeshadow primer is so that it doesn't go into the orange that we've got above the inner part of the crease there. And then just the lilac like all over that front part of the lid. I think that that will work really, really well. So are they equal? A little bit more. Constantly like looking in between my close-up mirror and my far away mirror so that I can see how everything's going. I'm also thinking I might sharpen this up rather than rounding it out, because again, that'll make it a bit different to what we did last time. So let's use a little pencil brush so that I can get right into the inner corner and go into Periwinkle Path. That beautiful, beautiful lilac. And really pressing that on. And I think that this will tap into that blue. Yeah, it'll tap into that blue real nice. And like I did with the orange at the start, I might actually, yeah, I will add a little bit of white. Again, just sort of mix on my brush, dip backwards and forwards into the white a little bit, just to brighten up a touch further in. Maybe just add a little bit more white there. Yeah. It's not like crazy creative, and I'm not going to do any sort of what am I thinking of? Graphic liner. I'm not going to do any sort of graphic liner or anything today because I've already done that. I don't want this to look exactly the same as my first impression, but yeah, I'm very happy with that purple into that blue. These shades are so pretty. You can't fault them. You cannot fault them. Honestly, I wouldn't have been mad. Apart from perhaps the black, you can't be disappointed with an eyeshadow palette bingo. When the shades are this pretty, I would have been happy with anything. Even though the vision was not exceptionally forthcoming, but that's due to me and my lack of talent. My lack of creativity in this heat. Honestly, I'm like, I can't think straight. Yeah, I think I'm happy with how this is all looking. I will just take, I want a really big fluffy brush, something like this one. This one, real big brush, and I'm just going to go into Spectrum Base, that white, really lightly, and just go over the top of everything, just to blend everything out a touch, and then I'm done, question mark. I think I am. I think I am done. So I'm gonna go ahead, clean this up. I think I want a nice sharp outer corner, do the rest of my face, and then we can do something under the eye. I'm thinking probably just the orange, but let's wait and see. Another thought might come to me in the meantime, but let me go ahead and do the rest of my face and I will be right back. Okay, so that is the rest of the face done. I was just adding a little bit more of that orange just where my concealer is, all up in here, but I think I want the green to like join up the outer corner and then maybe the orange a little bit further in, and then I really want to pack that white right onto the inner corner because of course I do. So taking that same small brush, really tapping it off into Emerald Echo, that last darkest green that we picked, and let's do that sort of halfway along. I did sharpen this up, but I don't want it to be like, you know, I want it to be softly lifting, so I will just tap over that edge a little bit. I've just sort of gone a little bit crazy blending that green along the lower lash line, and now I'm like, I don't know if there's space for the orange. Let me grab, what brush do I want? I want something quite small but fluffy. This one's had orange on it, this one will do. I'll go into a little bit of the orange, which was Marigold Mirage, and I'll put that a little bit just like right here. Haven't left a ton of room. But that's on me not knowing what the plan is. Yeah, I quite like that actually. That little pop right on the lower lash line. That is perfectly acceptable to me. Good job, because I've already done it now, so I'm just going to have to live with it. So let's go ahead and grab sort of a small pencil brush, and I'm going to go straight into Spectrum Base, that white ivory creamy shade, and I'm going to pack that right onto the inner corner, because if I'm picking a matte white, I'm putting it on the inner corner. I will also really load that up under the brow bone as well. Yes, I like that. I knew I would. I just know, like, I'm gonna hit pan in this white shade before I hit pan in anything else. I can guarantee it. Yeah, I am very happy with how this look has turned out. Considering I had no plan and the plan that I then came up with I completely disregarded, but I think I'm done. I think I'm done. So I want to add a wing. I'm thinking maybe a purple to bring out more of that purple. So let's go ahead and do a wing, mascara, and then we are done. I'm thrilled with how this has turned out, honestly. I'm thrilled. There we go. So that is the purple liquid liner done, and mascara, and we are done for the Arch of Colour eyeshadow palette bingo. If you have this palette or something similar, I highly recommend a bingo, because it just, obviously there are colour combinations that you see when you look at a palette. This takes all of this out of your control, gives you a colour story that maybe you would have put together. I wouldn't have put this together. I wouldn't have picked 4 completely different shades and then a white. Like, I would never have put these together. I would have absolutely picked the orange. Like, I would have picked them all separately. But I feel like having 5 such contrasting shades, I wouldn't have ever put this together, but I love it. I love how this has turned out. I mean, obviously I was going to, because this palette is incredible, the colours are incredible, the formula is just mouth-wateringly delicious. Is it mouth-wateringly delicious because I am starving hungry, potentially? But this is the finished look. I would love to hear whose look you prefer, mine or Cole's. Honestly, like, as much as I love this, I do think I'm going to prefer Cole's, just because I feel like I've gone quite safe with the placement of all of the colours and everything and the look that I've created. I feel like this is a safe option. And Cole, will do something so incredibly like dramatic and graphic, and she'll just do something completely crazy kooky. But I'm happy with how this has turned out. I'm so excited to see Cola's look. I'll leave hers linked down below, but I'd love to hear who you think has won. But yes, if you have this palette or a similar like all matte rainbow colourful palette, I highly recommend completely randomising them, whether that be in an app like what I do or just using a random number generator if you can be trusted to count past 5, because I can't be trusted to do that. That's why I use the app. I highly recommend randomising all the shades and coming up with a look. But I want to know all of your thoughts down below. Have you got this palette? Are you going to pick it up? What are your thoughts? I would love to hear. But until next time, thank you ever so much for watching. Bye bye.